Aloha, our protein-sparing modified fast friends or keto friends, whatever you are. We are really excited to be here. And if you don't know, if you share these YouTube videos on your Facebook or Instagram and you tag us, you could win one of our protein-sparing modified fast cookbooks. Actually, you could win any of our books if you want. Just let us know. We have a bunch of them offered at keto-adapted.com. This is the Protein Sparing Modified Fast Cookbook. I'm working on the third one right now. And the person who won is Lena.Total Wellness. She shared this on her Instagram last night. And so that's an example of what you could do. Or you could share this video right now on your Instagram or Facebook, tagging us, and you could be next week's winner. Every week we'll have a winner, right? So we have questions coming in already. Craig's sharing this. Yeah, so Craig, you could win a book. Did you know that?
Oh.
So we have questions. First of all, we want to talk about, we love Kelly Hogan very much, and she's doing a lean fat thing. That's not really protein sparing. It's kind of that concept, but it's more complicated than just doing a lean fat day, because protein sparing is basically focusing mainly all on protein, but we're dialing the calories back just to a minimum level. Instead, it's mimicking a fast, a day of not eating anything. You're eating the minimum amount of protein you need to keep your muscle, okay? So doing a lean fat, and those fat days are, we don't want to be adding in butter or ghee or a bunch of cheese or dairy, because that's probably going to wipe out all of your results that you did for the lean days. So it's a little bit more complicated. She's great. Love her very much. And she loves my protein sparing bread, which is even cooler. But what do you want to do, hon? You want to read the questions?
Yeah, sure. What do we got next? Do you read that?
Hi, I have a question. Can you eat more protein grams on your protein sparing modified fast days? Will it hurt anything? I seem to be hungry, only eating 107 grams. Should I spread it out throughout the day?
Absolutely. You can either spread out your meals if that helps with satiety, or add some more protein. The big thing on protein sparing days is limit the carbs as much as you can, and limit the fat. Try to keep within maybe 30 grams, 40 at the most.
But
to really
Shanda, sweetie, let me give you some tips. If you notice that you're really hungry, it could be more things. Did you get at least 8 hours of sleep? If you didn't, your hunger is going to be turned up. And I got to tell you, I get more than 8 hours of sleep. I thrive on that. I have a lot of energy as long as I get closer to 9.5 every single night. Also, cutting all caffeine. Caffeine is going to increase blood sugar on average about 8%. So this is why your hunger goes away when you first start drinking caffeine. But when you stop, it dips, and your hunger and your cravings are much more intense. So get good sleep, cut the caffeine. That will help with your hunger.
Okay, so why is it called protein sparing if you're actually so here's the explanation of that. Basically, it's a modified fast. You're modifying a water fast. So you modify a water fast so that you spare your own body's protein. So with a water fast, you're going to lose lean mass. If you go over 24 hours, day 2, day 3, you're going to lose lean mass.
And your metabolic rate slows.
Yeah, which of course slows your metabolic rate because your BMR is your lean mass is going down. Where a protein sparing modified fast, it's kind of like a fast, but you're doing it in a way of preserving your body's protein. So you spare the protein on your body.
We didn't make this up.
Maria's that old name for this, when we never heard of the clinical term protein sparing modified fast, was pure protein days. And I think that sounds
about 15 years ago,
better.
I wrote about how I do pure protein days, and that's how I lost weight. Maybe we should call it that.
Carnivore 3 years, lost 100 pounds.
Way to
Great
go.
job. And now developing cholesterol deposits under my eyes. Is this normal? What can you do?
It could be too much vitamin D.
Yeah,
check your vitamin D levels. If it's above 70, you'll get those cholesterol deposits.
And then I would, get the general checkups, like what are your triglyceride and HDL numbers, and get a calcium score to see what your arteries look like, those kind of things.
Oh. I've been without a gallbladder for some years. Will protein sparing modified fast be okay? It is perfect for you, my friend. Honestly, I work with clients all around the world without gallbladders, and they do amazing on protein sparing. And they honestly, even a regular keto diet, they do much, much better, especially without the dairy. They do really, really well. But protein sparing, we're lowering that fat. So your gallbladder, you won't have an issue without that either. But I do usually do supplement plans for people without gallbladders, just because having a couple supplements will help with digestion.
And Ian is here again from Bangkok.
Ian from Bangkok. That's amazing.
We're heading there in about a year and a half on a Asian cruise we're going to be on. So we're pretty excited to explore that part of the world.
Oregon.
Eugene, Oregon is here.
From Wales. Northern Canada.
If I cut
back on total fat consumed, can I lose weight faster? Absolutely. That's what we're talking about, Kayla.
Yeah.
We're lowering the fat, because this is why we're doing these types of live YouTubes, because we're fighting against an uphill battle. We love that keto is really popular right now, but we're also like banging our head against the walls, because people are like, oh, you didn't lose weight? Add another stick of butter. Honestly, there are keto coaches out there telling people that you will lose weight if you add a stick of butter. And biology just says that's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen. If you want to be a really good certified keto coach, sign-ups end Tuesday.
A couple days left to sign up.
We have our certified keto coaches, and we have a website all set up for you. We train you
in the right way to do keto.
And our coaches are very successful. So if you are interested, let us know.
And here's the basic thing about that. Yes, we're all different. Yes, we all have different hormones and all these things, but the way our bodies process something like fat is not that different. It's pretty much the same across everybody. When fat comes into the diet, it gets digested, and once in the blood, it really only has two places to go. It can either be burned as fuel, which most of the dietary fat doesn't. It first goes into storage. So it goes into your fat cells. Well, if you're trying to lose fat, body fat, that dietary fat's going in and adding to that pool before it gets burned. So yeah, dialing back dietary fat totally is what you want to do to lose more weight.
I've never seen a whale shark while whale watching. They're not in the Maui area.
She's saying sharks in general.
Sharks? Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen a shark? I don't think we've seen them on the board. Have you?
Well, no, but you had the drone and you saw them.
Yeah,
and
I
was
saw
out
a couple
there.
on the drones. Not close to them or anything, but they're there. But usually they don't mess with you. I started incorporating protein sparing modified fast meal plans this week, and I'm down 4 pounds.
Way to go! After a year and a half stall. See, Lynette, you messaged me that. We need to get this message out. Lynette, you
support at keto-adapted.com. Send us your amazing story.
And keep us posted on your progress. I'm so proud of you.
Hear those. Here you go, hon. Hello.
Hello from France. Oh, I was just talking about it this morning. My birthday's coming up, and I want to go to France so bad. And Craig's like, I think the restrictions are just too strict.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things are going.
And it's our 20th wedding anniversary. What better time?
Starting
hi guys,
week, broke a 5 pounds in a week.
That's a stall. I know her.
Awesome.
Ranch wife, Susan. She also, I believe, won tickets to Las Vegas with me.
Oh.
You messaged me that testimony, my friend.
Awesome. Hello from Norway.
Oh, I want to go there too. Sugar
Detox for Sugar Addict. Our cleanse meal plans are sweetener free. So not even natural sweeteners. We did that for a reason is a lot of people, when they first start out, it can be really good to just cut all sweetness for that month, just to shift the palate, get kind of get off of that sugar addiction, help the cravings go away a little faster.
What kind of gum can I chew on keto? I would look for a gum that doesn't have any aspartame, which is kind of hard to find. But
hello from Mexico. Hey, we just got one of our protein sparing books translated to Spanish. So
and French.
Yep, and we have one in French now too. When on keto at nights, I dream a lot, and I also have nightmares. Doesn't matter what time my last meal is. Do you know? I
don't know, but I do know that, with the whole psychology part of it, try to think positive rather than negative. If you have a lot of trauma in your life, Like you might notice your dreams more in general, but you can kind of influence if they're nightmares or healthy dreams or happy dreams. I mean, so that could be it.
I would say in general, you tend to have deeper sleep, which means you have better, more vivid, REM
just
sleep.
try to be thinking positive beforehand. Don't watch scary movies beforehand.
It's important to reach our fat macros on both protein sparing days and keto days. Now, protein sparing days, I mean, you want at least 20 or 30 grams of fat to absorb fat soluble vitamins and make, healthy hormones and stuff. So that's kind of a goal, 20, 30 grams as a minimum. But on keto days, no, there's no fat goal. Yeah. There's a maximum, a protein goal. Fat is you adjust based on your goals. You adjust it down to lose more fat off your body. So
hold on, get this one. I hear so many things from Keto Chow folks starting protein sparing modified fast.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
Good. We like them. They're so sweet.
They're very nice people. Hello from Sweden.
Oh, we're supposed to be there in August.
And before we get too far ahead here, I want to say thank you so much to anybody who does the super chat or super stickers. We very much appreciate
Milwaukee.
I lost my
spot. Go Bucks.
I'm way off now. I don't know where I am.
Go Bucks. We love you, Bucks.
Whoa, we got a lot. Let's go ahead. Let's see.
My husband's protein. Okay. I usually get about 65 to 70 grams of protein for my OMAD. I want to keep OMAD for autophagy. Okay, so
number one, macros are more important than any intermittent fasting. If you don't get enough protein, you will lose muscle, which over time means you'll have a lower BMR. You can eat less food because muscle burns more calories all day long. Plus, you're going to be weaker, and nobody wants to get weaker as you age. So that's way more important than any.
I lost a lot of muscle mass doing OMAD. I'll just say that. Yeah. And how do you know you're getting more autophagy with OMAD? We can't really measure that.
There's no way to measure it.
For autophagy, what's better than fasting? Working out.
Strength training will stimulate autophagy as much as any intermittent fasting, and you're gaining muscle instead of losing it.
So try that, Dora.
Try that for autophagy.
Because I don't like to be excessively full, so that getting enough protein in one meal was really hard for me.
My husband's protein macro is 246 grams a day. So number one,
probably
everybody skips over. There's a nice block of notes at the top of the calculator that help you understand how to get proper macros, and almost nobody reads it. There's a note that says, if your protein goal is XX based on your height, adjust it to get it right. The calculator is doing its best to get a proper protein macro, but it's not perfect. So if you look at those notes at the top, you can adjust because that's way too high unless he's like
a bodybuilder,
6'7" bodybuilder and
like 5% body fat. So Lisa, if you want 8 hours of sleep, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of a magician, aren't I? Mm-hmm. What I spent all morning doing, I assessed about 8 different health assessments. I do personalized health assessments for people that you can fill out a very detailed questionnaire. You can send me any labs that you have. I will get you on the proper supplements to help you with sleep, especially women where you can fall asleep, but you wake up like, bing, I'm totally awake at 2 or 3 a.m. I can help you with that. I do it all the time. I have some great testimonies on that.
I know you recommend protein sparing modified fast, but is there anything wrong with doing a 36-hour fast every couple of weeks?
Yeah, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think it's worth it. Again, it's this, we're chasing something that we don't even fully know is, you can't measure autophagy. We have some indicators that, but autophagy is happening all the time.
But you don't know that's why they're doing it.
Well, why else would you do a 36-hour fast?
To lose weight. But for weight loss,
protein sparing is better.
Because you get a metabolic boost with the protein.
Yeah.
And you get to eat.
Yeah. Is it okay to do protein sparing days every day? No.
Even if you need like 100 pounds to lose, if you want to do them almost maybe 5 days a week, and you must do one overfeeding day. 1 or 2 overfeeding days then too.
Yeah. Because otherwise, being that low in calories all the time, you could have metabolic adaptation.
We don't really know.
You want to do some overfeeding days just to keep the metabolism
do this one. Protein sparing modified fast works. I've done it twice now and I've lost pounds. It's much easier than I have anticipated. Jen, that's awesome. I'd love a message from you. Keep us posted on your progress, Jen.
Can you have potassium drops doing protein sparing? I'm feeling very tired and weak.
I do recommend electrolytes for sure. Always electrolytes, always supplements. They help a lot. I mean, you need even more salt on those days, most likely. If you notice that you have very poor sleep on protein sparing days, it might be because you didn't get enough salt that day. So the drops, or you could do Element. We love Element. Very nice small company.
Protein sparing and breastfeeding 18-month-old are the digestive enzymes. So first question, breast milk production is primarily about getting lots of protein, which you do on those days, but also getting, enough calories, as well as getting lots of electrolytes and water for hydration.
So when you are breastfeeding, I don't really like people to lose weight, because guess what? You store toxins in your fat. Yeah. So as you lose weight, you release those toxins into your breast milk and you give those to the baby. I would just wait a little bit, what's a couple more months until you're done breastfeeding. And then, still eat healthy now. That's always good. But weight loss, I would wait until
rapid weight loss when you're doing that. And for the HCl and pepsin while breastfeeding, that's fine. Absolutely.
That's healthy. Yeah. Yes, you can keep yolks in the refrigerator. You can freeze yolks for up to many months. What's interesting, you can't freeze a whole egg. That won't work. But if you separate the eggs and the white, or the whites and the yolks, you can freeze those. So win-win.
Protein sparing days, how do you figure out the protein for the day? We have a calculator.
Free calculator, Tria, at mariamindbodyhealth.com. It's right at the top.
Yep, calculator.
Keto calculator. Hello from Singapore. Our boys just did, we make them do weekly assignments where they do have a presentation, and they just did Singapore, and I can't wait to go there someday. Richmond, Wisconsin.
Is it okay to lower fat?
Every day.
Every day. I know in your protein sparing, you say, so I mean, it depends what you say by lower fat. I mean, there's some people that
thrive on 50,
60 grams of fat is enough for them. They're satiated and they're losing weight. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's plenty of fat to, hormone production, absorb vitamins, all that.
Hi, I had bariatric surgery, and the protein sparing modified fast is so helpful to keep weight loss going. I have issues, of course, with absorption of protein and all the other nutrients. Do you recommend any modifications to the protein sparing modified fast macros? This is what this book is made for people with bariatric surgery, whether it be, it's just perfect because you focus on protein. What really frustrates me, I just had a client yesterday morning who had bariatric surgery, and the doctor tells them to drink a lot of protein, whey protein shakes, which is terrible for weight loss. Whey protein is. Also, they say to eat fat-free cheese, which what is fat-free cheese anyway? But it's frustrating. I would do hydrochloric acid with pepsin because your absorption is poor. I also would be very aware of what your iron and ferritin levels are, because if you're low, your rate of fat oxidation will be much slower.
This is more about fat or calories, which is a goal number is both important to hit. Well, if weight loss is your goal, and again, we're prefacing this as weight loss is the goal, fat and calories are not goals to hit necessarily. Mm-hmm. Protein is a goal. Carbs are a limit to stay under. Fat, you adjust based on what your goals are. If it's weight loss and you're not losing, you lower it down a bit. So, I mean, I guess from that standpoint, I see fat as more of like our calculator. It's a limit to stay under when weight loss is your goal. Let's see.
Someone's just saying thank you. It's just cool.
Can I eat 100 grams meat only at 5 foot tall? I'm not sure what you mean by 100 grams of meat. We're talking about macros, so that means protein in the meat. Mm-hmm. So if the meat weighs 100 grams, depending on the cut of meat, it might have 20 or 30 grams of protein in it.
I would do our free calculator.
Do our calculator.
It'll let you know.
Yeah, that'll give you the goal you need. See.
Hello. Based on the oxidative priority, protein is number 3. Should I worry about eating too much meat?
No. What we made clear in that too is protein is never used as a fuel unless it has to be, because you don't have any fuel on your body. So you're very lean and you're not eating any in the diet. like a protein sparing day. Then it's forced to use protein because it has no other choice. Every other case, it's going to use the fuel that's available. It's not going to turn protein into fuel.
Diane saying thank you that we're both angels. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, very nice.
What vitamin am I? Okay, if my lips peel, what vitamin am I deficient? Well, you probably are dehydrated. Get more salt and add in evening primrose oil. Next one.
All carnivore days versus protein sparing days. What's your opinion on weight loss with these two? Well,
I have a carnivore cook ebook
well,
that has protein sparing modified days.
But let's be clear. Just being carnivore doesn't mean you lose weight.
No,
you can gain weight eating carnivore.
A lot of people do.
And so it's always about macros in either case.
But we do have a carnivore ebook that has protein sparing recipes in it. So it's a win-win.
Hello from Slovenia. Awesome.
Coming to Maui in September. 35th anniversary. Well, happy anniversary.
Can type 1 diabetic do this way of eating?
Yes.
Absolutely. And they absolutely should do this way of eating.
Your A1C will go down in 3 months.
You get much more stable blood sugars, much easier to bolus for what you're intaking, and you get much flatter instead of
and you actually need more protein with type 1 or type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so
which book is best since I have my gallbladder out? This one, Protein Sparing Modified Fast Cookbook, which you can get on keto-adapted.com. Thank you. Thank you very much for your support.
Hello from Estonia. Just bought your keto starter course and I love it. Thank you. So much new information. Very straightforward and easy to understand, even for a non-native English speaker.
Oh, you made our day. Thank you so much.
Hello from Switzerland.
My goal list to go to Switzerland.
Nice. Food sensitivity to egg whites.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, there's thousands of recipes. I would say that only maybe 10 of them have egg whites in here. So, and most ebooks and cookbooks only have, I always pack mine with way more recipes than most cookbooks. So
a couple things on that. And thank you so much for the super chat coming. Kind of a long one here, but PCOS 12, double mastectomy. Sorry to hear that. Afterwards, be giving estrogen supplements to help with menopause. Did a full health assessment about a year ago with these new changes in my body, the supplements that you were recommended. Also, does this dairy again that was previously interfering with my PCOS? Yeah, I would definitely stay away from dairy.
I'm so sorry.
In general, just to prevent, any, but, as far as supplements, if you did a health assessment, you get a couple email. So, you know what? I think you could just reply to your email, say, hey, any adjustments based on this?
I'll help you out, Anna.
Yeah, we'll help you out.
Sorry, sweetie.
Let's see.
You got a super chat?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. It's in here somewhere.
Milwaukee, go Bucks.
Yeah, hopefully they win one tonight. Curious about the frequency of egg whites, developing food sensitivities. Any concerns?
No, that's not even true.
Yeah, I don't think
rotating foods. I'm like a dog. I could eat the same thing over and over. It's all about healing the gut. If you have a healthy gut, you're not going to have an issue. If you have a damaged gut doing a lot of acid blockers, or you've been on acid blockers and a damaged intestinal system, then anything can be causing a food allergy. So
thank you, Susan. That is very sweet of you.
Oh, Susan, thank you. $5.
That's very nice.
Hi from Minneapolis.
Diana, which book would you recommend for a newbie to keto?
We need to lose over 100 pounds.
It depends. If you're trying to educate yourself about this lifestyle, I think our book Keto,
The Complete Guide,
is the best place to start.
Right.
If you just want to, you want to more just dive in and follow meal plans, The Cleanse is a great one.
The Cleanse, or you know what? The Keto Starter Course.
Yeah.
You go to ketomaria.com.
We'll put a link below. It's on. There's a special right now.
And we help you.
Only $49. You can get the
$49
as part of a stack that's going on until Tuesday. So something to consider. We'll put the link in the bottom after this posts. What about spiking insulin, protein sparing versus 36-hour fast, not spiking for weight loss and healing insulin resistance? So here's the thing about that. Number one, watch our video about insulin resistance and how to shrink your fat cells. That is an excellent video. Please watch that video. But to quickly summarize it here, insulin's not the enemy 100%, the evil enemy. That's, for the most part, insulin's kind of just doing its job, right?
It's like the net.
Insulin's kind of the thermostat that's adjusting the fuel in your blood to find what is balanced of fuel needed versus fuel being put into the blood, right? So it's kind of just managing fuel and energy to keep fuel from going too high in the blood. Okay. So when protein comes in, protein needs insulin to get utilized. And so you do get a little more increase in insulin from protein than you do from, say, fat. But you still get an increase in insulin from fat. If you eat nothing but fat, you're going to store fat. There's enough insulin rise from just fat to store it. It has to. Otherwise, your triglycerides in your blood would go through the roof because it's not pushing anything out of the blood. So really, the issue here is insulin rising from protein. It can't store fat you didn't eat. So let's say you're doing protein sparing day and you have very little fat coming in, right? So insulin goes up in the blood. So what? If there's no fat to store away, nothing happened, right? You can't store fat that you didn't eat. So that insulin increase is not a concern when it comes to fat loss.
Is it possible to order a hard copy of the Protein Sparing Modified Fast Cookbook? What you do is if you order from keto-adapted.com, it helps our family so much more instead of giving Jeff Bezos another $1 billion. Okay. Yeah. And if you go to printme1.com, it will print you a nice spiral bound copy and mail it to your house.
Any of our ebooks.
And that will help small companies and small families much more than Amazon.
I'm sorry.
How do you heal the gut?
How do you heal the gut?
I highly suggest to do a personal health assessment at keto-adapted.com. Do you have the link for that or no?
Yeah, we'll put that up here.
Put the link for you.
Sorry, where's your macro calculator? So macro calculator usually means tracking or making meal plans based on macros. We have that on keto-adapted.com for subscribers. Otherwise, there's some free tools out there like chronometer.com for tracking that kind of stuff.
Either potassium is fine.
You want to read this one?
I'm very interested in protein sparing modified fast to break my stall on the keto diet. I heard that excess protein changed my glucose by gluconeogenesis. What are your thoughts about that? We have a really great video about that, but we've been talking about it. If your blood sugar goes up 10 points, whoop-de-doo, right? Yeah. And like Craig said, you can't store fat if you didn't eat it.
Yeah, and the thing is, people get so crazy about insulin and crazy about any fluctuation in blood glucose, and they're losing sight of the goal. What's the goal? Is health, vitality when we get older, staying strong, and losing weight, right?
Why does everybody pick on protein, but they don't pick on coffee? Coffee is going to change it much more. Cutting all the coffee and the caffeine is going to be much more important for weight loss.
Okay, so asking about the $49 course, yes, we will put a link below. It'll in like 5 minutes after it ends.
It ends on Tuesday, so
yeah,
get it today.
Okay, so what about this one?
What can I do? I have a vertical sleeve. I cannot get more than 70-ish grams of protein in. What can I do? You can do the protein sparing modified fast. That's really going to help you. I work with people with vertical sleeve all the time. Most women need, you will get it in if we get the carbohydrates down. And what's great about this is you're eating the most nutrient dense foods out there. So don't think that you need vegetables and fruits and grains to get your nutrients in. Meat and organ meat blow all of those out of the water. So you're eating the most nutrient dense foods. You're giving your body all it needs to rebuild, your hair, your follicles, your muscles, all of that.
Love your coaching program. Thank you, Carissa.
You,
we put a lot of effort into that. So
becoming a certified keto coach.
Love your keto barbecue sauce from Protein Sparing book, but oops, I ate too much of it. The next day I naturally ate Protein Sparing modified mass macros. Why was I able to do that?
How do you know it's too much?
Yeah.
I eat quite a bit of it because there's no fat in it. So it's really not too much. It's a little bit more carbohydrates, but the more important thing is to keep the fat low with the protein sparing than it is to keep the.
What about fasting for healing estrogen dominance?
Mhm.
Say 72 hour.
No, estrogen dominance. I heal that all the time. A lot of
no
it would be
fasting
supplements
required.
too.
Yeah, supplements can definitely help, but it's not really, fasting's not going to do much there.
No. Getting rid of all of the alcohol, getting rid of all the coffee and caffeine will help.
Do you recommend protein sparing, exercising on protein sparing days? Yeah, you definitely can. There's no reason you can't. You know,
I did.
If you, as long as you're getting enough protein, I mean, and you have enough body fat on your body. You know, if you're lean and you're doing protein sparing day, yeah,
you're going to be tired.
Struggle with energy and workouts.
But it's not really for people.
But if you have 50 pounds of fat to utilize for your body to tap into for energy, there's not going to be any
Who's
issues.
the nutritionist doing protein sparing?
What's this one? Recommended. I watched another nutritional influencer who is carnivore and doing protein sparing, who said not to exercise in protein sparing.
You just read that.
Oh, sorry.
Can you recommend?
Can you post a number consultation? Keto-adapted.com. We have everything.
Or if you go to Keto Maria, see it's right here.
Yeah, that'll get you there too.
On the corner, ketomaria.com will get you there.
You guys are so good at making sense of all this. Thank you.
Thanks.
Does keto make psoriasis worse?
No. Well, here's the thing. You release toxins out of the fat. And so sometimes there's a healing crisis that makes, rashes and all of that. If you do the supplement plan, it heals much faster. But that is part of detoxing, because you carry a lot of crap in your fat. So keto doesn't cause it.
What are your thoughts on eating seasonally? Also, I use raw dairy and love it. I heard it is great for immune health.
Well, we don't really recommend dairy.
If weight loss is the goal,
seasonally,
we don't recommend dairy at all. But
I guess there was always meat around, so yeah, it's great.
Let's see. Thyroid.
I've been following your way for 3.5 years, which has healed my pre-diabetes, thyroid issues, etc. Way to go, Michelle. Recently, I tried a CGM from NutriSense from your recommendation. It was very eye-opening for me. I try to figure out why my glucose is higher overnight. Do you know why that is? Am I still healing? Well, a lot of things can cause that. It could be low electrolytes. It could be, having what is high?
Yeah.
That's kind of so Art of Fat Loss or the Protein Sparing Modified Fast Cookbook. I would say that they're both completely different. The Art of Fat Loss, here, it's right here, honey. The Art of Fat Loss has more introduction information to it.
Yeah.
So maybe that one, and then
for starting, for sure.
To start, and then the Protein Sparing Modified Fast. If you want that barbecue sauce
for more recipes,
recipes and meal plans.
So this is important. I'm not insulin resistant, but my blood sugar did increase. But I'm not concerned though, because I lost 3 pounds after doing 1 day of protein sparing. And again, that's the key: is don't chase numbers on a meter or something. Chase results. Chase the results that you're going to see.
Yeah, I will say that I did the CGM. My son and I did the CGM. And what was very interesting is when we wrote down that we were going to eat. So you plug in when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat. And when you exercise, it would spike and do different things. When I didn't tell it I was eating, but I did eat, it stayed very flat. So I don't know how much it's influenced by saying that you're going to eat. And it just, you know what I'm saying? Like it seemed a little bit shifty.
So why is protein better for type 1 and type 2 diabetics? Higher protein better. How much protein is too much daily?
Listen to this. It's very important.
First of all, go back to that video that we talked about already with the insulin and fat loss, because we talk a little bit about that. But here's the thing. If you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, you want to maintain or increase your muscle mass while shrinking your fat cells. That's like the number one way to do it. So how do you maintain or increase your protein, your lean mass? You do it by adding protein, getting enough protein. And then adjusting fat in the diet down means you burn more off your fat cells and your fat cells shrink. That's reversing type 2 diabetes. Why is it more important? Because insulin, and when you're insulin resistant, you need insulin to use protein to make utilize protein and break it into amino acids and build muscle with it. So if insulin's action is impaired, or if you're using exogenous insulin, external, it's not as as effective as endogenous insulin. So you're not utilizing the protein as well as you should be. So you need even more protein just to maintain that muscle.
Click on that. Oh, you missed it.
Which one?
Nope. I had it right on there and I was going to click it.
Which one?
How did you deal with constipation on protein sparing modified? That wasn't the one. I do suggest to do a personalized health assessment, but with constipation, it could be a couple things. Try adding in more salt. The colon does not need fiber. Fiber actually is like steel wool to the intestines. You do not need fiber to go number 2. Just think about newborn babies. They poo all the time and they don't get any fiber, but the colon does need salt. So try adding in more salt, or you could do the element that we recommend. That will help. There's like dairy and nuts are constipating. And then there's certain supplements that can help with your intestinal tract to get that moving. And that would be the personalized health assessment.
If someone has less than 15 pounds to lose, would you do a protein sparing? It depends on your situation. If you're still losing weight very slowly, gradual, I would just kind of let the process happen. If
you're stuck,
if you've been stalled for, a couple months at that weight, maybe add 1 day a week of protein sparing to try to kick that.
Best place to get a CGM. If you go to mariamindbodyhealth.com, that's my blog, mariamindbodyhealth.com. I have had the blog so long, it's not a cool name. I should have had something better. But if you type in CGM in the search, I'll give you the link, and there's a special discount code on ordering that.
Have you always suggested pure protein days? Pretty much, 15 plus years ago, and Maria was talking about
I started
this.
listening to all these keto influencers saying, no, you have to add more fat. And I was like,
6-7 years ago,
maybe we had to add more fat. And then we're like, no, that's dumb. Everybody's gaining weight.
This worked way better. So we went back to it. Can carbs and fat macros be adjusted daily as long as, so I don't know why you mean daily. What do you mean by daily? Our calculator will give you macros. And as long as your lean mass has been calculated properly, you really don't need to recalculate macros until you get to maintenance, because you just use fat as a lever and keep adjusting it based on your goals.
What do I do when losing hair on keto or carnivore? It's usually low in protein. It's too low in protein.
That's number one, yeah.
So lower the fat, increase even carnivores. Carnivores sometimes are putting butter all over their steak. Don't do that. Add more steak. Add more salt, because when blood pressure gets too low, you get loss of blood flow to the head, which can cause hair loss. And then there's certain supplements. If you want to do a personalized supplement plan, I could help you with that too.
Let's see.
Is protein sparing better for menopause and hypothyroidism? Heck yeah. If you are hypothyroid, if you have Hashimoto's, I have clients go into remission and get off medication for Hashimoto's all the time, every day. You have to do what I tell you though, and add in certain supplements.
Is it okay to have approved sweeteners like your Angel Food cake on protein sparing days?
Yep.
Yeah, no problem with that. They're 0 calories, so.
Just be careful when you buy sweeteners. If there's laced with like maltodextrin or other additives, don't do those like stevia in the raw or Boca Sweet. Stay away from that. That's terrible for the liver.
Why do you use soy sauce in some of your recipes? So soy sauce.
Tamari sauce.
Tamari is wheat-free fermented soy, and the fermented soy doesn't have the phytoestrogens and things that are an issue with soy. So
right, it's totally different. And I'm not saying drink a glass of soy milk. I'm saying use a tablespoon of soy sauce in this whole recipe. It's tamari sauce. There's no wheat in it. The thing is I tried using coconut aminos instead to get that flavor. Coconut aminos is like sugar. 10 times high in sugar. So I don't recommend it.
Let's see. How about this one? I've been carnivore for 2 months, and every time I test ketones, I'm always 0.2 to 0.3. Is that normal? So yeah, blood ketones have 0 correlation with, what's the goal again?
Weight loss.
Results, right? So 0 correlation to results. So you can be 0.2, you can be 2.0. It doesn't matter when it comes to results, right? And you can be at 2.0 on blood ketones and have terrible macros and be eating tons of fat and be gaining weight.
But she's not losing weight. So I would try protein sparing modified fast. Obviously, all the people commenting say it works. So lower the fat, cut out all the dairy, cut out all the nuts, cut out the caffeine, get good sleep.
Let's see.
Any tips on stopping diarrhea? Yeah, Miranda, I would do a personalized health assessment because you got a lot of issues going on. Make sure to cut out all MCT oil. That can cause diarrhea. Dairy can cause diarrhea as well as it can cause constipation. But then there's probably a small intestine or like a pancreas issue. And then there's certain like supplements that will clear it up. No time.
What kind of taco shell would be good for a child that has a peanut allergy?
My protein sparing modified fast tortilla.
Perfect. Yeah, those are perfect.
Thoughts
taco
on
shells.
Gluten-free soy sauce, the tamari sauce.
Yep. Tamari is gluten-free.
Why is Boca Sweet terrible for the liver?
Because it's processed in the liver.
That's where it's processed.
Just like fructose.
Fructose is metabolized in the liver, and this is why it doesn't raise blood sugar. But if you're using things that are like making your liver work harder, over time, your liver, you get a tired and toxic liver. With that, you get thyroid issues, you get weight gain, you have terrible skin. Don't make your liver work harder than it has to.
Yeah, your liver is doing a lot. Best book for starting out. Again,
the Keto Starter Course for
our
$49.
Keto Starter Course for $49. We'll post below is the best way to start out. Do you count erythritol on your total carbs? Seeing the carb adds the protein sparing bread. No, they're not digestible carbs. Your body doesn't digest them. It goes right through you. So we don't count the carbs from erythritol. Okay, maybe one or two more here. Let's see. Scan down, maybe grab one.
How much is your health assessment? Well, there's different prices. If you want to do a personalized one, I believe that's $149. Otherwise, there's $25 health assessments.
Yeah, and then
pre-made ones.
One more here. Can I do protein sparing on an ongoing basis if I'm only doing it 1 to 3 times a week to help me lose weight and afterwards to help me maintain my weight? Yeah, I mean, you can definitely, even in maintenance, it doesn't have to go all the way to protein sparing level of 30 grams of fat, but even just a lower fat day of 50, 60 grams and then, maybe on the weekend you would get, a little more calories and kind of compensates for that in maintenance. If that works for you, that's great. If you're doing multiple those protein sparing days each and every week, make sure to add those overfeeding days.
I want to talk about bone health. The bones need a lot of protein. Bones. So Jill, you're female. So if you aren't menstruating anymore, or if you're low in progesterone, you need progesterone for bone health. So certain supplements can help. I have a bone building supplement plan. Vitamin K2 is important. You probably want to do 300 micrograms with food. Check your vitamin D levels. Low vitamin D can cause bone loss. Don't smoke. You don't need a lot of calcium, but you do need a lot of magnesium. We used to think it was a 4-to-1 ratio calcium to magnesium, but we now know that's opposite. And you do get enough calcium if you're not eating dairy. You don't need to worry about that. So I have a whole post on mariamindbodyhealth.com about bone building.
Great. One last one, I guess. Why is caffeine bad? That's a long one, but generally it's a drug.
Go to mariamindbodyhealth.com and I write all about it.
Interfere with sleep, which sleep is so important.
Increases blood sugar by about 8% on anybody.
It
has mold, all of those things. Go to mariamindbodyhealth.com. It'll tell you all about it.
All right. I think we'll end it there. Thanks, everyone.
Catch the same time next week.
Appreciate all the support.
Share, and you could win a book. Yay!
Thanks.